All right, it's that time. Welcome back to the Game Dev Breakdown podcast. My name is Todd Mitchell. Each week I bring you tales from the game development industry and talk about the business behind the games you love. Tonight, I have not only my friend John Schreiber back on the show, but we're also going to talk to my friend Ray Marek, who runs the Horror Syndicate and works as an indie, you could call him maybe an executive, for Apogee Comics. So we're going to hear about what he does, what he's up to, and we're going to talk about games. So stick around, it's going to be fun. As always, I want to remind you about the primary sponsor of the podcast, and that is Amazon.com. If you start your next trip to Amazon over at Code Right Play, click on the banner on the top of the homepage or over on the right side of the page. You can do your normal Amazon business. The prices and experience remains the same, but that's a free way for you to support the show, and it means the world to us. It means we'll get to keep doing cooler and cooler things. It'll sound better, it'll look better, it'll be better. So we appreciate that. Again, that's Amazon.com through Code Right Play. Okay, where to start? Hey, John, how you doing? Welcome back to the show, buddy.
Hello. It's a pleasure.
It is great to have you back, and in addition, welcome Ray Marek. How you doing, pal?
I am fantastic. I'm doing great. Been stressed out like crazy, but that's okay.
Ray is an old friend of mine. It's technically his second time on the show, but the first time the audio was destroyed, so I am so sorry. That's never happened to me.
Don't lie. I was crap. Come on.
I listened back to 30 seconds and went, nope, not having this. No, Ray,
I blame it on the flat earthers.
It fell off the face of the earth.
It did.
Ray and I did both of our very first podcasts together. So if we think back hard enough, we probably have lost a show together before.
Oh yeah, the very first one we did, I believe we had to scrap. Audio was rough. Some things were said that shouldn't be on the air.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna leave it at that because
right.
if I say more, it may incriminate somebody somewhere.
One or two of the four people.
Yeah,
one or two.
So I guess the best way to go about this is I want to start by introducing Ray to our listeners. Ray, tell me about. Let's start with. Quickly, the indie comic stuff you do. Tell us about that.
I am a co-owner for Apogee Comics. I also am the editor-in-chief and creative talent scout with question mark.
You're like old school Stan Lee.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm also the lead writer. So
definitely like Stan Lee.
Yeah. Everything creative has to go through me, which is a huge burden.
I was going to say, no wonder you're so stressed out all the time.
Yeah, it's between that and then the horror website, and yeah, I'm just like trying to get ducks in a row, and and pushing ducks away at the same time. So, get out of here, duck.
Choosing some ducks and drowning the others.
Yeah.
Well,
when everything starts coming out, it'll be worth it. We just Apogee. We had our Kickstarter for Transgenesis, which a lot of people are questionable about the title, but that should be going out to the Kickstarter supporters here in the next couple weeks, and then we're starting another Kickstarter October 7th, I believe.
You're actually pretty far along with that. Yeah, it sounded like that stuff was just getting started.
Yeah, and we didn't plan on doing Kickstarters, but we had a whole plan of doing things where we're going to release everything in July or August next year. Like, we're writing everything, producing all the comics, getting everything taken care of, trying to get a backlog of 3 to 6 issues before we go to print. That way we won't fall behind, which I think is a pretty decent strategy.
Did you go to Kickstarter with some stuff finished?
Well, with Kickstarter, with comics, you want to go in with at least 5 pages to show. Okay. There's people who go in without anything and have a crummy video and they don't get anywhere. If you get some finished products, some pin-ups, and a decent video, you have a better shot of getting funded. And the Transgenesis got funded. It was a low Kickstarter, mostly for printing costs, and it was I think the goal was $3,000 and we went to $35,000, And that was all thanks to Jay Sloan and Dave Norton, the writer and the artist behind Transgenesis. And that's our launch title. And the whole purpose of doing the Kickstarters is to get some books in our pockets to take to cons next year. Because, I mean, they printed, or they're going to have 1,000 print run of the issue itself. And, maybe 100, 150, I think it's 150 are going out to supporters. So we're going to be sitting on 850 to take the cons with us next year and sell at cons. And, giveaways and stuff like that for the Facebook page, which we do giveaways when we hit, like we just hit 1,000 likes on Facebook. So we're doing art giveaways. And it's cool because Nick Garber, our president and lead artist, is giving away actual comic pages that he drew himself. Like, it's one of a kind because it's the thing he drew. You know what I'm saying?
That's really cool.
So, yeah. And we're just trying to get the message out, the name out there. People get interested. So next year when we fully launch with all 4 titles, we can have a decent little fan base going. And again, Kickstarter will get people a little bit familiar with some of the characters in the universe with Transgenesis. The Kickstarter we're going to be doing next is Bengali, which is not mine, but it's going to be an exciting, fun book. And then hopefully first quarter 2018, we're going to do a Kickstarter for my book, The Cardinal, which should be pretty fun.
Yeah, I've kind of had to come around full circle on the Kickstarter thing because, for one thing, a low Kickstarter dollar amount is a good thing, obviously. But on top of that, if you can cover some basic costs but also get a community started, like a big group of people excited about what you're actually doing, that's a pretty huge benefit.
Yeah.
A lot of small indie developers and indie studios do that strictly for that reason. They have, they do have a specific goal in mind and something to apply it to, but it sounds like a great way to grow an audience.
Yeah, one of the best things about teaming up with Apogee is we've got 3 in-house pencil and inkers, and then we've got 3 writers, and so almost all of the talent is in-house. We're not outsourcing much, mostly just colors, and colors are not cheap, they're not expensive, depends on who you get. And so a lot of the times, like on Bengali, that's actually being outsourced by the artist is Rich Parada, who's inked for Marvel and DC before. And so that's being outsourced, and then the colors are being outsourced. So we're going to use some of the money that we raise, if it funds 100%, to pay off Rich. But the other portion is going to go to printing, so we can have a nice stack of comics to take with us. And we're planning on hitting the con circuit hard next year.
Yeah. So developing indie comic superstar, that's a full-time job's worth of work already. That is not your day job, and you run a very successful horror site. And tell us about that to fill out the picture.
It's thehorrorsyndicate.com. It's Nightfall Unlimited was our first project together, and
big
through
geek
that,
culture site. Yes.
Yeah, geek culture site. And I put a lot of horror into that, especially around this time every year. I started the Rage of Razor page, and that didn't really do much. I didn't really expect it to. I got into these horror movie collector groups, and I was learning so much about horror I didn't know, and communicating with a lot of fans about horror. And I was like, well, why don't I try to do a horror site, just one thing, and see if that works. And it's doing better than I expected in the first year. We're getting an average of, these numbers may not be huge, but 130 hits a day.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, and we've got some good activity on our Facebook. We're crawling towards 6,000 followers on Facebook, or likes or whatever. I say crawling because we get to a good point and then it slowly creeps to the next level, and then after that we get a bunch of followers and then slowly creep. It's weird. It's going really well. We're gearing up for October, which is a big month for horror, because that's when the normal people watch scary movies. That's what. Yeah. No offense to anybody, but most normal people are like, oh, it's time to watch scary movies because it's October.
Yeah.
But so and one of the things with the Horror Syndicate that we thrive on is trying to introduce people to some of. I mean, everybody knows about Freddy and Jason and the pop culture icon horror figures, but there's so much more out there that, there's some good storytelling in some of these horror movies, and if you go back to the 70s, 80s, we're talking about great practical effects. Like the movie I watched tonight it's called City of the Living Dead by Lucio Fulci, and it's an Italian dubbed in English horror film, but there's some absolutely great effects on the movie. And these are things that we think anybody who says they like horror, you should check these out. And and that's what we do on our podcast, is try to introduce people into some of these movies they may have missed. And that's the goal.
Yeah. What's the name of the podcast for people who are interested?
Well, it was the Horror Syndicate Live. I think we're done with that. We're starting a new one either this Friday or next Friday, and we don't have a name. We can't come up with a name for it.
To be determined.
It's the three main guys, me, Jared Letourneau, and Brian Enright, and we've done 2 practice shows and had a couple guests on, like Mike Lombardo, who did I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday. And it's fun because it's very organic, where the Horror Syndicate Live, our old show, was very structured, where it just felt like, a couple guys sitting around having a beer or whatever. I don't drink beer. Let's say a sweet tea.
I'm having one now. I think John's rocking some whiskey.
I am, and it is very delicious.
I'm rocking some chocolate milk. So
that's even better.
Oh, I think you win, sir.
So I thought it'd be fun to have Ray on for a couple of reasons. For one, Ray and I met at Toys R Us, and Toys R Us is on the brink right now. So we'll chit-chat about that in a minute. And also, I wanted to sort of talk about, Halloween's coming. It's a little early to talk about it maybe, but I thought the topic of horror-themed games, I think John's played a few. I've certainly played a few, and I know Ray checks out some as well, but I thought it'd be fun to sort of talk about our favorite horror elements in games, I guess. And I know we talked about you were playing the... Is the game called Friday the 13th, or is it something just Jason related?
It's just simply Friday the 13th, the game. Yeah.
That's not fair to the NES version.
No, it's not. But they did call back to the Friday the 13th NES game by putting the Jason, like giving the Jason Voorhees skin the NES feel with the blue looking mask, and they gave him the 8-bit theme when he comes around. So they did their fair share of showing some love.
Well, I appreciate that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I have looked at some gameplay, and it looks humorous, and it looks fun too with the group of buddies.
It is a lot of fun, and that's the thing. Like early on, this was a Kickstarter. They Gun Media, they ran a Kickstarter to get this thing off the ground, and it did way better than they expected, nearly $1 million, I believe, and had all these stretch goals to get different skins in there and all this different stuff. But when it launched in June, it was glitchy, like so glitchy, like it was hard to get into matches, and when you got into matches, you get booted, or if you hide in a tent, because there are a lot of the games you can hide in different places, but if you hide in a tent, there was one time I hid in a tent, and all of a sudden my character was floating on top of the tent, and like it looked like she was basically, I use a girl in the game when I'm a counselor, it looked like she was ice skating in the air, like above the tent. It was so bizarre, and then there was people using these glitches to their advantage, like going to a couple of the bigger cabins, and there's a way, like if you hit the B button or the circle button on the PlayStation, whichever you're playing, and in the corner, and you can end up on the roof, and Jason cannot get you up there. And so they're exploiting these glitches, and then Gun Media fixed that problem. They've done a really good job of taking care of everything. They just did not expect, like I think they expected the people who supported the Kickstarter to be the ones playing it, but when it was released, I think they made like over $3 million in that first weekend on new customers. And yeah, we killed the servers, man. And yeah, it was fantastic because earlier in the year, a movie called Rings came out. You remember the movie The Ring?
Yeah.
Well, this is the second sequel, the third movie in the series, and it did so bad that they canceled the Friday the 13th movie that was supposed to be released in October of 2017 on Friday the 13th.
Really?
And yeah, and then this game comes out, and I think they're hitting themselves over the head like, oh my God, we just threw away a lot of money.
Yeah.
This game is still, it's bringing the great thing about the game for me as a big Friday the 13th fan and growing up with it is it's bringing a whole new generation of Friday the 13th fans into it. Like my son, he's only 8, but he got into playing the game, and now he loves the movies, and it's fantastic. I think it is. It's a slasher. It's a killer running around and everything, and that's not good. But it's a video game. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got introduced to it in probably junior high. And it seemed like at the time, it's like, this isn't really any big deal. Certainly the NES version is plenty kid-friendly.
Still play that one.
Funny little story about Friday the 13th. That's actually the first horror movie that I watched front to back when I was about 6, 5 or 6, with my grandfather. My mother refused to let me watch horror movies, and my grandpa was like, hey, why don't you come watch this with me? And I watched it sitting on his lap, and actually remember enjoying it.
Nice.
That's a good grandfather, let me tell you.
Yeah. That was my first taste of horror.
That's good stuff, man. That's a good story, too.
My grandpa would watch anything that was on like regular TV, and obviously that's not normally very bad stuff, but it didn't really matter what was on or what it was about. Like if it was a breast exam, like he was just chilling, like he didn't care. And he didn't care that I was in the room, and we had some funny moments that way.
What are you watching, Grandpa? There's a breast exam on. Be quiet.
Pull up a seat, quiet down. Yeah. What I'm wondering about the Friday the 13th game is how did it work with the intellectual property rights? Did they secure that before the Kickstarter, or did they just wrap that in like this is what it costs to get the rights?
Yeah, so I think the game was originally called Campfire or something like that, or Camp Out, something along those lines, or and then they went to the whoever at the time, which I think Paramount has the rights, and they went to Paramount and said, we want to do this Kickstarter, and Paramount's like, whatever, you go ahead, take the character, take the names, and I don't think Paramount, I think it was like an afterthought to them. They didn't think it would make it, and now, like I said, Paramount's getting ready to lose the rights, and they're going to revert back to New Line Cinema, I think, at the end of the year. But I think they're kicking themselves because they just gave them away for nothing, and then they were able to get the voice actors. The guy who plays Tommy Jarvis, his name's Tom Matthews. He plays Tommy Jarvis in the game. He like the hero that you can unlock eventually. It's when two people die in the match. If you go to the CB radio and call Tommy, he can come in, and one of the players that died already can come back in the match and play as Tommy. And they got him to voice it, which was amazing because he's part of my favorite, which is Jason Lives, the 6th one. And then they got the Kane Hodder, who played Jason in 4 movies, to do the motion capture for it and all the kills and everything. It's they went all out as soon as they got the property rights. They went all out, and I swear Paramount's just kicking themselves.
Yeah, I've seen videos of the motion capture process for that game, and it's unsettling.
Yeah. The actual game is a lot less violent.
Right.
Yeah. It's. I met Kane Hodder at Days of the Dead in Indianapolis in July of this year, and he asked me what was my favorite thing about him being Jason, and I flat out said, I want to thank you for doing the motion capture and for the video game, because that has opened up everything. And my son was there, and he's like, yeah, you're my favorite Jason. And he's like, he just looked at me dead in the eyes and said, thank you. That actually means a lot to me, more than anything.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, he got kind of shafted because when Freddy vs. Jason came around, Jason got recast, and they kicked him to the curb, and he always wanted to come back and play Jason, and he got to essentially play all the skins because they're modeled off. There's 6 of them, I think, right now, and they're all modeled off of the movies, but it's essentially Kane Hodder,
Yeah.
So which is super cool. So he's an awesome guy too.
Wasn't he the one that scared the shit out of somebody in the woods during a movie filming?
Yeah, it was during Part 7. He wore he loved wearing the costume, and if you look up Friday the 13th 7, The New Blood, look up the costume is the best looking. The effects on it, the makeup, because the director John Carl Buechler, who actually is from St. Louis, he said he wanted to add in every bullet hole, every machete, scar, all the scars that have ever happened to Jason. He wanted to add them into the makeup, and he's under the water for like 5 years, so his skin is rotting away and his spine is showing and stuff like that. And yeah, so Kane Hodder was just walking around on the road one day, and all these people are driving by, and they're freaking out. He did the same thing in Manhattan during the Jason Takes Manhattan, but he got treated more like a rock star there.
Yeah, they took that right in stride, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
So before I forget, let's talk about the Toys R Us thing. So you and I met at Toys R Us in about, we decided, what, 2001? Something like that?
I think it was 2001. Well, let me ask you this. There's always a defining memory for the season or a person or something like that. Did the Godfather still have the mullet? The skullet, I should say.
Unfortunately not.
Okay, so I would say 2001, probably.
Okay, that sounds right to me. You and I took a liking to each other and passed the time enjoying one another's company. And I remember even then, Toys R Us, we kept hearing like, well, they're talking about maybe shutting some stores down, and they don't know if they're going to make it through the next 5 years. And so we kind of got the impression that like Toys R Us is just never going away. And maybe we're wrong. What do you think?
This is like the third time I've seen this happen, though. Like, since I've been gone, I remember there was a scare in '02, and they did shut down a few stores because I was on the reset team one of these years where we reset the stores from the aisles to what it is now, essentially. We went to the Bridgeton store. Yeah, it was the Bridgeton store to do some work, and the doors were closed. And nobody let us know that they had just closed the store down.
Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah, so we drove all the way out there, and we were supposed to work there. And they're like, no, we're off this week until we get everything figured out. They just closed the Bridgeton store. Toys R Us is on the verge of bankruptcy. I'm like, and this is 2002 maybe. Then when I left in '04, I think it was '04 when I left, because my buddy sent me an article that said Toys R Us was on the verge of bankruptcy, and he offered me a position at Radio Shack, so I took it. I was like, I don't want to get stuck with no job. And they didn't close. Yeah, and then, a few years later, I think it was '08 or '09, and this is like a seasonal thing. Maybe they want the people to think, so, they're closing down, so they'll have people come out and start buying stuff. What they'll probably do is just close a bunch of stores.
Yeah. That sounds right. They did go ahead and file bankruptcy, I think, yesterday, if I read that right. But they're talking like they're trying not to shut stores down, so I don't really know how that works. In an interview, they said that we're exploring this option as a means of handling our significant debt with our different vendors and stuff, and I thought probably the best way to handle that is just go ahead and pay them.
Yeah. So. It kills me because, like, they're one of the last, big box. Well, they are the last big box toy retailer out there, I believe. KB's gone, and almost all of them are gone, I believe. And Toys R Us is the last one. And here in the St. Louis area, we've already lost. I think they just closed Chesterfield last year.
Yeah, my realtor was just talking to us about that.
Yeah, so I think they're down to South County, Fairview, where we worked.
Yeah.
And Sunset Hills. I think the Ferguson store may still be there too, which why would that even be out there?
That's good for them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd still take my son to Fairview Heights every once in a while, which is kind of weird. I'm one of the few people who haven't been banned from shopping at the store. So
I don't know if I was banned or not, but I mean, I was told I was, but not by any managers. But I've been in there since.
It's funny how many of the regulars from 2001 still work there.
That's kind of gross.
It's sad, yeah.
It really makes me feel kind of nauseous to think about it.
What's funny is at the end of one of the holiday seasons, I had sort of buddied up with one of these seasonal guys who he was having a rough go of it. I was sort of in some sort of conflict with management because I was just an idiot teenager, and I'm sure it was probably my fault, but so this guy comes to me and goes like, well, at least you got a job, like they're about to lay me off, I just know it, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no man, they're probably gonna let you hang out for a while, we're short staffed anyway. And then I heard a manager say like, no, yeah, he's gonna go. And I was pissed off, and I went to the guy and I'm like, how would you like my hours for the rest of the week? And they set it up, and he still works there today because they didn't fire him that week.
Oh, really?
He still works there. I saw him the other day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I suppose you can't name the person.
I don't remember his name, honestly.
Oh,
or I think I would.
I probably know who it is, though. I'm sure. I'm just guessing.
He's there all the time. So it's weird. You and I talked about a little writing project about working at Toys R Us, and the one thing is, if they go under, we can go ahead and do it. Yeah,
that was one of my sticking points. Was we talked about renaming it and then making it kind of fiction.
Yeah.
And because Toys R Us could come after us if we really wanted to, even though there's really nothing that bad that we would say about it. It's just some management was kind of our talking points, and some just seasonal, and then for me seasonal hookups, because there was all new cashiers, good looking girls and whatnot, and then there was the shady stuff that some of us used to do just for action figures of all things.
Things got sketchy. That's very true. But yeah, I had talked to a lot of the old gang about like, hey, throw me a story. I'll edit that, put it in here. You'll get a credit for it, and you can be part of this, timeless collection of stories from toy retail. And Jamie was going to kick something in. John, we met Jamie at Toys R Us. So yeah, maybe all those people would come back out of the woodwork, and we could get this book done.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. And be able to say Toys R Us rather than, buy me toys or gimme toys or whatever it was we wanted to call it.
Talked about calling it Gimme Toys just because it would be so obvious.
Gimme Toys.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a dorky job like that, John, as a teenager? Just something weird like that?
A dorky job working in a retail... I never worked retail, actually.
Oh, my God.
You
now that I think about it.
There's still time, man.
It's like a rite of passage.
I've never worked... I was a waiter, a busboy. I used to wash 18-wheeler trucks in Troy.
Oh, did you work with Kevin?
Yes, he got me the job. That was a kind of a fun job for a teenager. I'm not going to lie.
I used to go visit there. Yeah, just because it was just this weird thing. Like, we're going to go hang out at this truck stop.
And that's what was kind of neat about it is random people's friends would show up and just hang out with us, and we'd be climbing on trucks and washing them. And it's just a very unique moment in life.
Did you guys wash the trucks to the sounds of Warren's Cherry Pie?
No.
Not even once. That's surprising.
No, I do remember.
We need to make that happen.
Yeah. Talk about not too late. Let's hook that up.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just say this. Cleaning out the inside of a tractor trailer that's been carrying chickens is not an ideal task.
No,
definitely don't want cherry pie for
that.
No. That'll kill you.
Yeah, it was a weird experience, but other than that was rare. It was pretty rare that somebody'd have you clean the inside of their trailer, but the rest of it was fun, man. For me, I don't know why. It was just kind of neat climbing up on them, and you'd have to climb up on the windshield area, and it was just weird.
Odd jobs. That's a cool. That'd be a fun topic. Is just talking about odd jobs that you had growing up. Like I've not only before I got stuck at Toys R Us, or not got stuck. I stuck with Toys R Us, I should say.
Yeah.
I went so many different jobs between 99 and 2000. 2000 when I started at Toys R Us. And just some of the. I worked at a factory that made the motors for refrigerators, and that was bizarre. Because I was the only person who could speak English.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, but I think that is an interesting topic alone, and not just Toys R Us itself.
Yeah,
weird jobs.
It's fun to trade those kind of stories from that time of life. Because at the time, I know we weren't having a ton of fun, but now it's fun to sort of look back at we were sort of still coming of age and just clawing our way up.
Yeah.
And we all made a lot of friends, I think. So, but anyway, John, tell me a game that you've played recently that's got some kind of horror theme element to it.
I would have to say the game that most characteristically would fit that is the game Prey. And I highly recommend it. Now, I wouldn't put it in the horror category. I would put it more as like a science fiction thriller. But as of late, that is the most horrific game I've played.
Most horrific is a good thing. Ray, what about you, other than Friday the 13th?
I still play Friday. I have it both. So I was one of the people who supported the Kickstarter, and I forgot that I did because I went ahead and bought it on the PS4 because my friend from the Horror Syndicate were buying it, and then I get an email, oh, here's your digital code for Friday the 13th on the Xbox.
Whoops.
So, yeah, so I mostly played on the PS4, but there's another game that is kind of like, it's called Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah, it's very similar, and they're really like, after about 2 weeks after Friday the 13th came out, that came out, and same price point of $40, which is a pretty decent deal for a brand new game. And it's a little bit different. There's 3 characters and then 1 killer. And then they have a Michael Myers from Halloween skin, and that they're really trying hard to get people to come over to play that instead of Friday the 13th, because now they're offering a Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre to play as the playable villain in the game.
Oh.
It's different. It's a little bit more demonic. The thing about Friday the 13th versus that is if you die 30 seconds into the map on Friday the 13th, you can still have fun because you can watch all the other counselors, and there's 8 counselors on the map at a time. But I played both, and they're both a lot of fun. It's just I prefer the Friday the 13th over the two. I was digging through some of my old video games, just trying to figure out something to play because I'm tired of playing the same old stuff. And I looked at playing Darksiders. And you guys familiar with that? One's 7 or 8 years old, Xbox 360 game.
I like that.
Yeah, and then I even posted on Facebook about this. I'm behind on the Walking Dead game, the Telltale game.
Oh, yeah.
Which I really can't endorse the Telltale video games enough, but, The Walking Dead, the Game of Thrones game, the Batman, all of them are just superb. And so I plan on October playing the Walking Dead, I guess it's part 3 called New Frontier. And that's definitely something I'm going to just dig right in. I went ahead and bought it for my Xbox so I can get some achievement points.
Yeah. It's funny
Just-
how excited I am about achievement points.
It seems like they've kind of fallen by the wayside. Reynolds gets an achievement point, and I hear it, and I'm like, yo, you got an achievement? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you don't care? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, that's a big deal back when that 360 started.
Yeah. You don't want achievement points? What's wrong with you?
Like, I remember when me and you became friends on Xbox Live, Todd, when I finally got on Xbox Live, and you had 20,000.
Yeah.
And you were like, yes, that's a manly amount of achievement points or something like that. I'm like, yeah, it is. And now I'm up for 60, I think. And of course, that's built over 10 years. But
yeah, I am just about to cross over to 80. So I've kind of slowed down, actually, but it's very important to me.
Well, there's different things you do in the game that, like side quests and stuff that you don't need to do really, but you do it for the achievement points.
Yep.
Like there was one game, I think it was one of the Splinter Cell games on the 360.
Oh man!
And yeah, I played through that. And you like those games, didn't you?
I do.
Yeah, and I played through that, and there were so many side quest achievement points that I just did, and normally I wouldn't do that. And that's when Dan, our buddy Dan, who challenged me on achievement points. Like, okay, I'm gonna have to catch up, and I'm gonna beat you. So it was a little friendly competition. I would never even wanted to try to get where Todd is. That's too scary. Can't fly too close to the sun.
That comes from not necessarily time, but from a variety of games.
Yeah.
And it's even easier now because I used to have stuff like the not GameFly, but when Blockbuster did their by mail, Netflix style service for games, I would play a lot of games that way. Slightly older games usually. Now you've got the Xbox Live games with gold. I try to check most of those out.
Oh yeah.
They do the Games Pass now, which is like another, I don't know, $10, and then you can play their expanding library of sort of older and less popular games than some that are, they have like Gears of War, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And then EA also has a subscription service. EA Access is what it's called. So I have all that, and so I play a lot of games now.
Should be able to find something to play. I've been off the Xbox a little bit and been playing more of the PS4, but I got on my Xbox. My brother-in-law hit me up. He's like, "Hey, Battlefront's free, or Battlefront is $4.50, and you get the DLC for free." I'm like, "Okay, okay, hold my chocolate milk. Let me get on there."
Right.
So I was actually playing that before I put the kids to bed tonight. Me and Reynolds was playing it too, and he's in the same room as me playing games. This is like a total dude place now, and he's over there playing against me in Battlefront and sniping me. It was fantastic. But yeah, I like all these new services. They're not new, but the games with gold.
Yeah.
Things like that they offer free games or a big discount. I can't wait for December when they start doing the Xbox Days or whatever it's called, or whatever they call it now.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know the ones you mean. That's a big super sale.
Heck yeah.
John, were you saying are you still doing the subscriber Humble Bundle thing?
Yes, and that is ridiculously incredible. For $12 a month, you just get piles of games, and in a few of the packs, some pretty good brand new. Like I've got NBA, what do they call them? 2K17. That's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I got Dirt Rally again.
Keep getting dirt.
God, what's that? That sounds good.
Oh, it's one of my favorite. Thanks to Todd, he turned me on to it. One of my favorite driving sims.
Super realistic rally racing.
Ever played. You got to really be into very realistic driving sims before I would be willing to endorse that to any human. But it is top notch.
Yeah. People are amped up about Forza 7 coming out early next month. I would say you could spend a lot of that time between now and then on Dirt Rally. You have to hate yourself just a little bit, but it's a super fun game.
Are you going to be jumping on that Forza, Todd?
I am. Yeah, I've got Amazon credits set aside already.
Okay. Sorry, John.
Perfect.
That's Todd's. That's one of the things I've always known him for, is going for Forza. And
oh yeah.
I
might actually do it. If you like it and you like Dirt Rally that much. I had lost touch with racing games. I had told you that before, Todd. I had been a huge fan for a long time, and then something weird happened when Need for Speed got like tweeny. I don't know what else to say.
Tweeny? What is that?
Like,
explain, please explain. I need to know.
It just got they found a niche market, which, I mean, this is something that I think adult game critics really need to just sit back and swallow this pill, that a lot of this stuff is technically for children still. And so some of your beloved franchises went that way because, I mean, why can you blame them? It's just like leaving millions of dollars sitting on the table if you didn't. Yeah. And Need for Speed was my baby, and then it went that route after like the second or third one. And I just kind of didn't play racing games for a while. I did like Gran Turismo on PS2. Decently, but as of late, all of a sudden the driving sims have gone to a level of realism that is just untouchable. I mean, I want VR so bad I can taste it.
Oh yeah, I would love to try VR on one of the racing games. I may find out that I can't handle it and I throw up right away. I don't know.
That's definitely where I'd be.
Yeah, I'm willing to try it. My issue with Need for Speed, and this is the mini rant version, is with this reboot, quote unquote, that they just did. They created a game where they did live action cutscenes. So they had a full cast and crew and shot like a good movie's worth of cutscenes. So it's a story. You follow these people, like these urban youths and such. And then when you get into the actual racing part, it's this cartoony bullshit where you're like flying more than you're driving and stuff. And you get flames shooting out a mile behind your car and stuff. And it's like, then this real person steps out and he's talking about, hey, bro, my ride, and get this and that. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Tweeny. It just that started to happen in Need for Speed, like around the Hot Pursuit era. It got really weird.
That was the last one I played.
Yeah, better times. Yeah,
I think that might actually be the last one I played too.
I think the first underground one. My wife says she vividly remembers playing that with her brother and her cousins, and so apparently there was a golden age for Need for Speed, and it was right around there.
That was 2 gens ago, though, wasn't it?
It was a long time ago, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was a long time ago.
PS2s and such, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big... I've never been big into racing because I am awful at it. Like, I'll tell you, some of the missions on Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City, I would have my buddy Edgar come over to do the racing missions for me because I could not do it. I'm terrible at racing. I think when I bought my 360, it came with Marvel Ultimate Alliance and maybe Forza, one of the Forza games. Oh. And I'm like, okay, I'll play this. It came with the system, and man, it was awful. I got so mad.
Yeah, don't buy Dirt Rally.
Yeah, no. Are you playing mostly on PC, or do you have console?
I do PC. I have a 360, but I only played it to get my heart broken by Red Dead Redemption.
What? How'd your heart get broken by one of the best?
But that's what it was. I just was pulling for John Marston, man, and I just saw it coming, and then I was just like, no, he was so cool.
Didn't like Jack?
No, not as much, man. He just wasn't the same. I do respect him, but he just wasn't the same.
I don't think I respect him. I respect his mission, but
yes, there you go. That's a good way to say that.
Yeah, he was annoying. Like when you'd be riding your horse hard, and he'd be like, "Work it, you damn nag." It's like, oh, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, Shocky Darns.
Yeah, I mean, he was. John was fantastic, though.
That game is amazing.
Are you gonna get back on the console when the new one comes out? I guess next year sometime.
I don't know. I've kicked that idea around. I've talked to Todd about it from time to time, but something else always creeps up on my wish list.
We can posse up.
Yes.
Tell them how much fun we had posseing up together.
It's true. That's some of my fondest memories in gaming, and there have been many memories, and that stands alone.
Like getting into knife fights with other people.
Throwing knives at each other. Yeah.
Throwing what are they called? Oh damn, what are those bottles called? I'm drawing a blank. You know what I'm talking about, right? The flaming bottles,
like the Molotov cocktails.
Yeah. Throwing those at people. Yeah, we were like riding to Mexico. I was posseing up with Todd and a couple of his buddies, and like we rode past some people, and somebody like hits one of the other guys, and all of a sudden it was on.
Yeah.
And we were all just throwing knives at each other. It was hilarious.
It's like a 3-hour war. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I think cannons got involved at one point.
Oh yeah, we ended up going to the fort and everything, man. That was the best.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if they do their jobs, they'll have some great online play on this next one too.
Yeah, and
it looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm not a big online player, but for that I will go. So.
Yeah, online with friends is really the only way to do it these days.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah, because like on Friday the 13th, getting into a private match with 8 friends is way better than doing it just with a bunch of randos who don't use microphones.
Yeah,
yeah. And even if they do, it's like going to somebody's house and trying to pet their cat, like talking to people on the internet. It's
anything could happen.
Yeah, basically.
Well, yeah. There's that. You can hear everything that's going on in the background as well. It's like, what's going on here? I can hear your mom yelling at you, 12-year-old kid. I can hear
clipping your toenails while you're playing?
Yeah. What's going on?
Every once in a while, I'll hear somebody's smoke alarm chirping every 30 seconds because the battery's dead. I yell at people. Dude, show some fucking responsibility for a minute and go change that battery.
Yeah, no doubt.
You could save your own life that way.
Yeah, exactly. I think the situation was I heard a guy playing Call of Duty and his thing was going off, and his kid was coming up to him like, "Daddy, what's that sound? Is that the fire alarm?" "No, it's not." And I'm like, "Yes, it is."
Yes, it is. Even the kid knows.
Yeah, it's like you can't really deny it at this point. So yeah, people are the worst.
That's why, hey man, get Red Dead or whatever they're gonna call it comes out. Get an Xbox One. I've got a couple people who'll posse up with us. It'd be a great time.
Okay.
We'll drink to the memories of John Marston.
There you go. Noted.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
I'm sure Todd will be down.
Oh yeah. I would do it for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, Ray, tell us where we can find you online.
Well, the obvious place. No, I guess it wouldn't be obvious. There's Twitter. It's at Razor_33 at Twitter. There's also at Apogee Comics, Horror Syndicate. There's a few places you can find me. And then, of course, there's the Facebook, the Horror Syndicate, Apogee Comics on Facebook, and my personal private Facebook page that I can only be friends with these two guys. My only 2 friends on Facebook.
And we'll look forward to a variety of great offerings from Apogee coming up. Relatively coming up next year.
Oh yeah, October 7th, we're going to kick off the Bengali Kickstarter. Renee Garza is the writer, and Rich Parada is the artist, inker, and then we got a guy from England named Paul Anderson, Mr. Anderson, doing the colors. So look for that, and hopefully if anybody wants to, they can help support us, because we're going to be huge, I tell you.
It's going to be the next big thing.
The next big thing.
And thank you for taking a second chance to do the podcast since the first was ruined.
Oh, anytime, buddy. I love podcasting, so.
And John, are you actually using Twitter yet or no? No.
No. I will soon, though. I'm
Find
practicing.
John on Facebook.
And Instagram. I started one.
I have seen you on Instagram. You're doing stuff, and God bless you. That's great. You're probably on more than I am on Instagram. I'm comfortable posting relatively private stuff on Instagram, and I shouldn't be. There's no good reason to do that. But yeah. So it's always like, should I do this here? I don't know, and I end up doing it on Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah.
I like Instagram right now. It's a good change of pace because there's so much less words. And a lot of what it is like seeing people smiling and doing things. And it's just, right now at least, it's very refreshing. It's a big change of pace.
You make a compelling point.
Yeah, it's a much happier experience so far, but I don't doubt the internet's ability to turn.
Fair enough. Well, all right. Thanks, guys. I'll look forward to talking to both of you very soon.
Absolutely.
All right, so thanks again to our guest, Ray Marek. Super great guy, fun to talk to. Check out Apogee Comics and the Horror Syndicate all over the web, both picking up steam, doing really well, and it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. So check out Ray, and as for us, we sure appreciate likes, listens, subscriptions, everything you guys are doing. Please keep it up, helps so much. And we're looking forward to keeping it going. So for my buddy John Schreiber and for Code Right Play, I'm Todd Mitchell. Thanks everybody. Keep playing. We'll talk to you next week.